Hey everyone. Today I am going to build an AI skill from scratch and share 5 advanced tips along the way that you won't find anywhere else. And that's because I've been completely AI skill pilled. It's just incredible to be able to encode my personal knowledge and tastes into a reusable skill that can help me save so much time every week. And I promise you, if you build your own skills, it can help you save time too. All right, so let's do a quick recap first. What exactly is an AI skill? Well, a skill is just a folder with instructions that AI can trigger for a given task. And why don't we build a skill to edit long form posts and long form copy, and we'll call it the edit post skill. And this is what the skill will look like by the end of this tutorial. So it's gonna have a bunch of files and it's gonna be in a folder. And we're gonna build a skill live by following these 5 steps. So first, we are gonna create the skill by using my best examples and personal context. Then we are going to be explicit about when the skill should trigger by updating the description of the skill. And then we are going to test the skill manually and build an evals.md so that it can actually check its own work and improve its own output without us even being there. And number 4, we are going to build a memory.md so the skill has memory of our past conversations and can actually improve itself over time. And then finally, I'm going to show you a skill that can help you improve all of your skills by removing AI slop, making things more concise and clear, and so on. All right, let's get into it. So this is Claude Code. I have an empty window right here. And let's go ahead and paste our 5 steps here and give it some instructions. So I am doing a live tutorial to build an AI skill from scratch. And I want you to work with me and follow these 5 steps, but wait for my instructions. Now, let's start with step number 1, which is create a skill using your best examples and personal context. All right. So as I mentioned before, I have a newsletter with different kinds of posts. I have these tutorial posts, I have opinion takes, and a bunch of other content, right? And to prepare for this tutorial, what I've done is I made 3 text files with examples. So here's some examples of my personal posts. Here's some examples of my tutorial posts, and some examples of my more product-related posts where I break down AI products and other tools. Okay, so now let's go back to Claude and let's paste the 3 example files here and say, I want to create an edit post skill that helps me edit a draft newsletter or any kind of long form post based on these examples. Review the examples and ask me any questions, and let's try to create a skill that's around 1 page. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the prompt that I typically start with to kick off building the skill. And the important thing to remember here is that to give it just as much examples and personal context as you can. Okay, so you see here that AI has read the examples and it's found like dear subscribers opener, hook, the voice, the short paragraphs and one-liners that I like. And it's asking me a few questions now. So what should the skill do when you invoke it? Edit a draft, that makes sense. How should it handle 3 post types? Let's say auto detect, then confirm. And there we go. And now, because we've given examples, it should have enough to actually create a fairly good initial stab at a skill. So let's skip ahead and see what it comes up with. All right, so you can see here that it's created skill.md, and it has a bunch of workflows, detect the post type, and then list the gaps, and then rewrite it. It has post types with the links to the examples. It has a skeleton and the voice rules. So it's pretty good, right? It's a pretty good initial first stab at the skill. And there's several pretty important lessons here. So the first lesson is to always separate the skill.md with your personal context and examples. And this has a few advantages. Number 1 is that because we didn't just load all these examples into the actual skill.md, it doesn't have to read through our crazy examples each time. It can figure out from the draft post that we give it, whether it's a tutorial post or a personal post, and it can only load the relevant context, right? The second benefit is that if you ever share your skill.md with somebody, like you don't have to actually include a bunch of personal information. Like everything here is like generic and not so confidential to share. But if you start sharing like all your example posts and everything, it might just be sharing a little bit too much, right? Okay, and the third tip I want to share is that when you're giving AI examples, be sure to give it at least a couple of different examples, right? Don't just give it one example. Otherwise, it's going to overfit to that single example and basically not give you the output that you actually want. Okay, so now let's move on to step 2, which is being explicit about when AI should trigger the skill. So go back to the skill here, and you can see right here, right in the description. So the way that skills work is that when you just ask AI a random question in Claude Code or Codex or whatever app you use, it doesn't actually read the whole skill. It just reads like the name and the description. And based on the description, it then decides whether to trigger the full skill or not. So it's very important to be very explicit here about laying out exactly when you should use the skill. So here it has use when Peter pastes a draft post or newsletter or asked to edit, tighten, or punch up a long form piece. I think it's pretty good. So I'll leave it alone right now. But just make sure that you audit this section here because otherwise your skill will not reliably trigger. You can, of course, still trigger the skill manually with edit-post, but it just takes a little bit more work. So that's tip number 2, pretty straightforward. Now, let's talk about tip number 3, which is testing the skill manually and building evals so that it checks its own work. And this is the tip that I feel like other skill tutorials don't talk about, right? So let me go ahead and run the skill through a real post. So let's move on to step 3. Here's a draft post to edit. Let's go ahead and paste the post right here. All right, so this is gonna be very meta because the post is basically about how to follow these 5 steps to create a skill. And now I'm using the skill to edit the actual post. And you notice here that it's detected that this is a tutorial style post, which is totally correct, right? And it's gonna do a manual pass. Sponsor block is missing, no number preview up front, so on and so forth. And then it's going to create a draft right here, okay? So it's a little bit hard to tell what it actually changed from the draft. So I think we should give some instructions of when you make edits, make sure to bold any changes you make. And let's just take a quick look at the draft post. So it looks like it's got watched now on YouTube, which is great. I think, yeah, this looks pretty good. And normally I would take a much closer pass through this and make a bunch of more other suggestions. But why don't we just ask it now to build the evals for a skill. So what is an eval, first of all? An eval is asking AI to basically check its own work, right? And there's 2 types of evals. There's evals where you get AI to give it a score. So for example, how useful and practical is this post? Give it a score out of 5 and justify why. And those evals, some people like them, but they actually aren't that good because AI can't really tell the difference between a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5. It's gonna make shit up, right? So a more straightforward eval is just to ask the AI to do a bunch of pass-fail checks. Okay, so can you create up to 10 pass-fail checks and document it in an evals.md? And let's put some checks in these categories. So number 1, the introduction. The introduction needs to catch the reader's attention. It needs to be crisp and concise. Tutorial-based introductions need to have a watch down on YouTube link. The voice needs to sound really authentic. It needs to not have any kind of AI slop like M dashes, a bunch of filler words like leverage and delve, and also AI slop patterns like this is not X, this is Y, or a bunch of really short sentences. That's what AI likes to do. So let's get rid of all that slop and let's check for that stuff. And substance is, can you make sure that there's actually practical insights here that people can put into practice right away? Can you make sure that the tone is helpful and genuine and authentic? All right. And is there a clear call to action at the end for the reader to take some sort of action with a list of steps? Okay, so we just dictated all this. And by the way, to dictate all this stuff, I'm using this app called Whisperflow, which I really love. And you can find a link to it in the video description. All right, but let's submit this. And hopefully AI also uses our tutorial post examples and other post examples to come up with the evals. So now let's skip ahead until it builds the evals MD so we can all take a look. Okay, so AI has created the evals.md, and here we are. So is there an opening hook? Is there a crisp first 2 or 3 sentences? Is there a link to YouTube? No M dashes, no filler words, the AI slop stuff. And it looks like it passed most of the evals except for these 2. Now there's one very important instruction that we forgot to include. So let me go ahead and tell AI now. Include in skill.md that when you run these evals, you should spin up a separate agent to run them. So there's a clean context window. And if any of the evals fail, you should get the original agent to continue to edit a post until all the evals pass. Okay? So now it's going to make sure that skill.md is aware of eval.md. And basically now we are trying to set up a loop, right? Where you get one agent to edit our newsletter post or whatever long form you have. Then the AI will spin up a separate agent to run the evals here to check the post. And because it's a separate agent, it has a clean context window. It's not going to be biased by the previous results. And if anything fails, then it's going to get the original agent to do another edit pass until everything passes. And this is where the magic of building skills is and using evals, right? Basically, it's going to keep iterating in a loop until everything passes. And you, as a human, can just go get coffee or get lunch and have the AI do the work. Okay. Now, of course, you still have to check the AI's results at the end. But I think building this kind of loop is so much more powerful than just building the skill and calling it a day. All right. Okay. So it claims that it built the loop. Let's actually test it now by running the evals loop. And let's see if it actually does loop or not. So here's the results. So first, it did one loop first, and 3 out of the 10 evals failed, right? There's some hypotheticals in there. It's using some AI slop phrases. It ran it again, and then 2 failed. It ran it a third time, and 2 failed. And it ran it a fourth time, and only 1 failed. And finally, after 5 loops, it looks like everything is working. It got rid of all the M dashes, all the this is X not Y slop, and things look good. And it looks like there's some problems with our evals. So you have to be here to both make sure the evals are working correctly and that they're actually doing their job. But you can see this looping action, right? It's doing a lot of work without us even being there. All right, now let's move on to step 4, which is build a memory.md for the skill so it gets better over time. So basically, the eval runs loops to improve the output from the skill. But we also want to improve the skill based on our conversations, right? So let's say, yes, let's move on to step 4, build the memory.md, and list the lessons learned from our conversation so far. Okay, so this is the memory.md, and it's basically like a reverse chronological order of summaries of past conversations that we had with AI while using the skill. So you see here that this is it for today. There's a bunch of stuff here, and there's a little bit too much here. So I'm gonna give it some more feedback. So I'm gonna say, make sure whatever you include in memory.md doesn't overlap with evals.md. Memory.md is for improving the skill itself. And try to capture each day in, let's say, just 2 or 3 brief sentences. You can add more if you want, but generally speaking, try to be concise. Okay? Because what I don't want to do is have this memory be super long and then having Claude or AI get confused again. Okay, this is the new memory.md. It's much shorter now. The key lesson was that we wanted to keep the grading agent and the edit agent separate. And yeah, so this is, I would say, super useful. But if we did this for real, I would give it a bunch more feedback about the draft, and it's going to remember a lot more things. And I think memory.md is actually optional, but I think it's useful when you can't find easy pass fail evals for feedback that you want to give. Like, for example, maybe you want to give a feedback to, I don't know, make the voice more authentic or something that's more vague and can't exactly have a pass fail eval. Okay. All right. So we covered 4 steps already. And the last step is to build your own skill to build skills. So let's just do a hypothetical here. Let's say we were able to build a skill that builds skills for us based on our conversation here. Don't build a skill, just output in chat what your 1-pager or a couple paragraph skill will look like. And hopefully it actually uses the 5 steps that we covered to build a skill. So let's take a look. All right, so here we have you build skills. Here's a target structure. You gotta have context separate from the skill, examples, eval, and memory, and then follow these 5 steps, right? All right, so it's as easy as that. But why do you need a skill to help you build skills? Look, the reality is that AI is doing a lot of the writing for us when building the skills. And if you don't pay attention, inevitably it's going to add a lot of copy and stuff to it, and it's going to turn into just AI slop. So you can basically tell it to build a skill to fix its own skills. Or what you can do is you can copy my skill builder skill that I have here. So skill. All right. Or, okay, so you can just tell AI to build a skill based on your conversations, building past skills like we did here. Or you can go ahead and copy my skill editor skill. And the skill editor skill just has a little bit more information in it, like preventing AI slop words and making sure that the skill itself is very concise and following some rules around progressive disclosure and so on and so forth. Let me show you it in action. So apply skill editor to this edit post skill. And let's see what kind of changes it makes. All right, so we ran a skill editor skill on our own skill, and we found that it is full of AI slop M dashes, right? So it's gonna get rid of all the M dashes. It's gonna get rid of it's not Y phrasing, and it's going to fix a bunch of formatting. So overall, it looks like it just fixed a bunch of formatting, which is pretty good because it means that our original edit post skill is actually pretty sound. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You wanna build a skill editor skill to periodically run to audit your skills, or like to tag when you're building new skills, because it just helps you make everything more concise, right? I don't really believe in building super long skills that humans don't bother to read. I really think like every skill needs to be reviewed by human eyes and to make it actually good. All right, so let's recap. So here are the 5 steps again to build really great skills. Number 1, create a skill with AI by giving it your personal context and your best-in-class examples of the output that you want. Number 2, be explicit in the description of the skill about when AI should trigger. Say something like use when XYZ. Just make it super explicit, right? Number 3, test the skill manually a few times and give it feedback, and then ask it in the same conversation to build an evals.md with a bunch of pass-fail checks on important things to do so that AI can actually check and improve its output without you even having to be there. Number 4, build a memory.md for the skill so that it actually improves over time. And finally, consider building your own skill to build skills or just copying my skill editor skill here. Now, quick plug, my skill editor skill, full disclaimer, is available to paid subscribers of my newsletter, along with all the other great skills I have here: personal advisor, health coach, infographic designer, and more, right? And I spent a lot of time making these skills great. They're all handcrafted. They're all AI slop free. So check out behindthecraft.com if you want access to the skills. I'll include the link in the description too. All right, one last thing I should think about building skills. Following these 5 steps is really important, but the reality is that even with all these best practices, the skill can only produce output that is maybe 80 to 90% there. The difference between kind of AI slop and actually good output is you spend the last 10, 20% reviewing AI's output and handcrafting it and making it even better with your human taste and judgment, right? I've tried to encode as much of my judgment and taste into skills as possible, but it still misses stuff. And the way that I actually write newsletter posts is similar to the way that people build these. I spend a lot of time upfront creating the first draft and maybe dictating my ideas. I then get the AI to do the initial edit pass using something similar to the edit post skill and these best practices. And then the last 10, 20%, I just spend a lot of time just reading through it and make sure it makes sense, applying my own common sense before sharing it with you all. So it's not AI slop, I promise you guys. All right, so if there's one takeaway from this video, take a look at your past week, figure out where you're spending a lot of time, and build skills to streamline as much of this work as possible. And remember to build things like evals and memory for your skills so that they can actually improve by themselves and get better over time with your input. All right? So if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.